Hello guys! In my last video I have tested and reviewed a set of acrylic markers that Arrtx kindly sent me. Honestly, I really enjoyed a lot making that video using those colors, and apparently Arrtx liked it a lot as well, because now they sent me another box. Last time I reviewed this set of 48 acrylic markers and I used them to make 3 drawings. The first one is a simple drawing of Totoro, which then I turned into a keychain. The second one is a portrait of an Asian lady, and the third one is a cyberpop girl, more in my style, and this one also became a keychain because I like to make keychains. But now it's time for the new set. Let's take a look. Unboxing time! The first thing I want to do is fill the palette with colors. It's already printed on the box, but I always trust the rendering on paper more. This way I also activate all the markers so they are ready to be used later. Activation. As for the other set, the activation is incredibly fast. Just press a couple of times and the marker is ready to paint. Oh, I almost forgot about this feature. This set comes with 2 packs of tips to change the type of stroke the marker makes. This will be very useful for details. All I have to do now is decide what to draw. Honestly, I don't have a lot of time, because I have some work commitments and some video to put on YouTube this month, and I will soon go on vacation as well, so that's why I've decided to do only one drawing this time. Also, since I have a pretty large set with 72 markers, I want to draw something very colorful that allows me to test them properly. I started looking for inspiration in my manga collection and art books, but in the end I found inspiration elsewhere. A new set of Magic the Gathering just came out. I bought the pre-release and I decided to draw this girl. I have already done the sketch because I don't want this video to last half an hour, so I prefer to show the coloring directly. Obviously, I don't have a tenth of the skill of the artists who work on Magic, so I won't be doing anything super realistic this time, but rather a pop art style portrait like I did for the previous video. That was the first portrait I ever did and I really liked it, so I decided to do something similar this time. Last time I did a very simple monochromatic background. This time I want to explore a little more and use more colors, so I tried to make something more original. The first blue I used was the Q470, which is quite dark, so now I'm going to use a lighter blue, the Q435, to decorate a little bit. My idea was to do something that evoked the water, a flow of soft shapes in bluish tones. Honestly, I didn't have a clear vision, I just doodled with a vibe in mind. Even from the background, you can see that these colors are really very saturated and vivid. They are very easy to apply and dry super quickly. I am genuinely impressed. Also, consider that a single layer of blue underneath was enough to achieve a solid color. Normally, with this type of material, you need at least 2 or 3 layers to achieve an even color. As I said last time, I have no experience with acrylics. Last video was the first time I used them. If you're not familiar with this channel, by the way, the things I usually do are more in this style. So, quite different from acrylics. However, I immediately found these colors easy to use. I think they are perfect for approaching acrylics in the easiest way possible. Especially if you are used to using markers for coloring, perhaps alcohol-based ones like me. The color spreads differently, of course, but the shape of the marker and the tip are quite similar to those, so it's definitely easier to use this than a classic brush, for example. At this point, the background is almost finished. Now, just a few details here and there with a little white and we are done. I have to be honest, I took a bit of risk with this background, but I'm super happy with how it turned out. At this point, I have to start coloring the face, and since it's more detailed, I prefer to change the tip and use a finer brush tip for better control. It's also useful to show you how it works. As you can see, it's super simple. Just slide out the tip and insert the other one. Once you've done that, just press down to release the color to activate the marker again, and you're ready to color. And now let's try this nib on paper. Okay, as you can see, it's way thinner than the other one. It's perfect for coloring the face, so all I have to do is repeat the same process with the other colors I'll be using for the face and start coloring. This time I decided not to make a very fast time lapse because I wanted to show the process more. This way the video can be interesting for those who want an opinion on the product, of course, but also for those who are interested in the illustration and just want to get ideas for their own art. Maybe someone even wants to follow the process to make this same drawing, and this way they can do it. While I draw, I will tell you something about this character and why I chose her. First of all, I have loved Magic for several years now. I am not a long-time fan, honestly, and I am not an expert on the game or its lore, but I am very fascinated by it as a game, and I enjoy playing with my friends even though I don't play very often, unfortunately. What fascinates me the most is the ability to create new expansions with ever-changing and original themes. Every time a new set comes out, the setting is different but always stylistically consistent. It's always clearly Magic. The creativity is mind-blowing. It ranges from steampunk fairs to pure fantasy, from vampires to cyberpunk races. There are Egyptian gods and even pirates and dinosaurs. Each set is a new world to discover and is characterized by magnificent illustrations. Now, I know that the game has changed a lot since its creation, and diehard fans don't consider the Magic of the last 10 years to be the real Magic, at least from an artistic point of view. But I can't help but appreciate both the more artistically raw but iconic Magic of the past and the current, more embellished Magic full of special cards. To be honest, I have always wanted to do Magic-themed illustrations, but the realistic style of the game makes it difficult to approach, especially for someone like me who mainly draws manga. So this is the perfect opportunity to finally draw something related to Magic. This latest set focuses on space exploration, and for someone like me who studies astrophysics and is passionate about science fiction, it's really the best. The art in this set is truly incredible, trust me. The cards transport you to other worlds, and I think it's really inspiring for an artist. Personally, when I see these cards, I immediately want to draw. I didn't know much about the lore of this set before making this video, honestly, but then I looked for something to understand who this character was. There are about 10 important characters in this set, including the subject of my portrait, and Ragost, a lobster gastronaut. I mean, you have got to love a lobster gastronaut. I swear, these guys are crazy. But now let's go back to our character. Her name is Haliya, and now I will quote the description that Magic provides about her. Having recently arrived in Sotera, Haliya is a bright and eager squire in the Sunstar Free Company. She traveled there aboard the Downsire, a horizon javelin and kilometers-long vessel that will reignite the Soteran supervoid, something that the system's monoist will do anything to prevent. Haliya has pledged her gladiator to the service of Sir Vondam, her mentor and idol who has trained her since she was a young woman. Okay, there are so many things going on here, but I don't want to go too much into the detail about the lore because I don't know half of it myself. However, I find the narrative aspect behind the game intriguing, and I invite anyone interested to explore it further. There are many channels on YouTube specializing in the vast lore of Magic that are certainly much more qualified than I am. So, to sum up, we can say that she is a warrior who has been trained in combat since she was very young, and she is determined and ambitious. This is more than enough to frame the character. In my opinion, she is a beautiful character both in terms of design and psychological profile. This drawing and this dive into the lore of Magic make me want to draw other characters from this set, honestly. Who knows, maybe I will bring some videos about it in the future. Now, before continuing with the video and getting back to the markers, I would like to take a moment to remind you to subscribe to the channel and like and comment if you enjoyed this video. It costs you nothing, but it's a huge help for me to allow me to continue bringing content to the channel, and so thank you very much. I also want to thank all my current subscribers because the channel is growing a lot and I never expected such a sudden change. All this is thanks to you who support me, and so thank you again from the bottom of my heart. Okay, now back to the drawing and the markers. So the hair was a bit tricky, perhaps the part that gave me the most trouble. I didn't have the right colors compared to the reference, so I had to improvise a lot. I changed my mind several times and in the end I opted for the black, and so I had to color the outlines with bright light colors that would stand out from the background a little bit. In the end, I am quite happy with how they turned out, even though while I was coloring them it seemed like I would never achieve a decent result. With acrylics you sometimes have to trust the process and layer by layer you get closer to an acceptable result. It's all a matter of patience and strategically placing shadows and highlights. I'm not gonna lie, the ugly phase is pretty scary, but you must have faith and move forward. Now that we are approaching the final result, I can tell you my opinion of the markers and how my experience testing them has been. I honestly loved using the SimTap markers from the previous video, and once again, I am extremely satisfied with the performance of these markers. The definitely positive thing about this set is the number of colors available. With these markers it's not super easy to blend, and in general having more colors means having more possibilities, and I think that 72 markers is enough for any drawing. As for the markers themselves, I haven't encountered any problems. Activation is simple, the color flows quickly and in a controlled manner, and it dries very quickly on the paper, so it makes the coloring less frustrating. I sincerely recommend this tool to anyone who wants to approach acrylic painting in an easy way. Perhaps starting with markers as an intermediate step and then moving on to brushes once they have gained experience with acrylic paint. For anyone interested, by the way, I have included links to Amazon in the description of this video. As always, I would like to point out that I do not receive any compensation from Arrtx for sales, and Arrtx has not asked me to say anything specific. They only asked me if I was interested in testing their product and then freely sharing my opinion, and so here we are. Now, as you can see, I am about to finish the cape, and with that the painting will be complete, so there is just one last thing left to do. This drawing is finally finished, but before we take a better look at the final result, I just want to show you something. After finishing the painting, while I was editing this video, I received another package from Arrtx. They sent me a gift box to celebrate the company's 10th anniversary. It's really sweet of them to think of me, and I thank them very much. But I will do the unboxing in a short video coming soon, so stay tuned if you are curious about the contents of this box. And now, finally, let's take a look at the final result. As always, thank you for following me this far and for dedicating your time to me. I hope you enjoyed the video and the painting, and I will see you in the next video.
Goodbye!